What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and today we are going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, we're going to skim through episodes 1, 2, and 3 because we're really going to talk about episode 4. Because, can I tell you something? I wanted to make sure I really wanted to review this before I actually reviewed this, but we're going to review this. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. I don't know why my intro be taking so long to come off, but whatever. All right, so starting out with this season, I could see that it was all going to be built around Dorit and this burglary child. Now, let me tell y'all something, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get this right off the bat. I don't know how I'm feeling about this burglary situation. Now, first and foremost, I will say whether it's whatever it is, I'm totally thankful that her family is safe, that her kids are safe, and all this good stuff. But sis, I don't know if I'm gonna be hanging out at Kyle's house right after somebody then burglarized my damn house and had me on the ground, gun to my head, and all this, that, and the third. Okay, that's just me. I'm gonna beef up the cameras. I'm gonna be in my house, or if I'm going to be anywhere else, it's going to be somewhere else, nice and tight and safe. Okay. But then I'm going to be always worried about, is somebody watching me? Is this, that? Listen, I don't know what's going on or whatever. I'm going to go for what she's saying it is. But just the emotions that she's having here and there, it's like very up and down about her being scared and traumatized and then not, or being strong or whatever. I don't even think that a lot of these women, I think they got their own opinion about whether it's true or not. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that her and her children are safe. And that's all we gonna really dive into that. Okay. Moving on, Erica, just shut up. Like, I'm just so over Erica already. Like, it's like she just keeps trying to chime in and say little shit just to let everybody know that her pipehead ass is there. Okay, don't nobody give a damn about you, Erica. You did so much last season. You talked all that shit. You don't give a damn about nobody but yourself. And that's very clear and evident in all of your actions and everything that you do. You could give two shits about anybody that's around you. Okay, cool. We get it. You don't care about anybody but yourself. Great. But you digging for an apology from Sutton for her asking you questions. Girl, bye. Go sit on the futon forever and just shut the fuck up. Don't nobody give a damn about you, Erica. Like, seriously. You could really not be on the cast anymore, honestly. Because aren't you broke now? I mean, you got Diana over here talking about all the coins that she has, which I'm actually very tired of her talking about her money too. Because one minute you said that you were poor, and then all of a sudden you had all this money because you was married to this billionaire man or whatever. Then you divorced him. Now you with this child or what, your boy toy, and you ended up having a baby by him, which is dumb. Because now when he leaves you, he's going to take money from you and possibly get child support or whatever. Lord, I hope she's as smart as the length of her money, because I don't know about sis. I feel like she's trying to find a way to create some drama in the group, but all I've really heard her talk about is her money. And it's like, I get it. I'm here for the glitz and the glam of it all too, sis. I really am. I want to hear about all that. But everything that comes out of your mouth is only about money. And where you don't want to shop because it's dusty in the store. You never go in anybody's store. The designers come to you. People like her, she's like another Heather Dubrow with it. Like, I really pray that sis don't never lose her money, because people like that, they will lose their shit. Literally. they cannot go back to regular life because they'll be the one on, what happened to them. You know what I mean? Some type of news show where they done something crazy because they just cannot live their life as a regular person because they just so into this lavish lifestyle. But anyway, key points for this. So that's basically everything. Episode 1 and 2 has really just dived really deep into this burglary. Kyle, okay, that's another big part. You trying to tell people how to feel. You gazing out the fucking window and all this shit about the burglary. Now I get it. Somebody robbed Kyle's house before too. So she's probably having some, post traumatic incidents or whatever in her head. So a PTSD, if you will. She's having some PTSD over the situation. But here's my thing. You are over here trying to make everybody feel bad or make everybody feel like you feel. Bitch, really? Why you so sad? Like you act like you was in the house with her when it happened. Now I'm saying, I'm listening. Listen, I get it. You feel bad for your friend. You don't want your friend to be going through these emotions or whatever. But what you're not about to sit here and do is tell me how to feel about what's the goings on. Like, I really think that she gave Sutton too much grief. And let me tell you something, Sutton. Kyle is not your damn friend. I don't know why you continue to have this woman's back the way that you do, or continue to talk to her and have like transparent conversations with her. And she continues to just go back like a fucking reporter on the channel 9 news and tell everybody everything that you're saying. This is the same woman that you rented her house for years, put money in her pocket. But every chance that she gets, she's running tell that on you or trying to make you look like a bad person. Why are you friends with this bitch? She is not your fucking friend. Like, seriously. You don't need to hang out with her no more, Sutton. Take your rich ass, because Diana seemed to talk about her money all the damn time. I think Sutton probably got more money than her. Who knows? Because Diana gonna be broke the way she spent all her damn money. But allegedly, that's just my opinion, whatever. But, girl, leave Kyle alone, Sutton. Kyle is not your damn friend. I'm just telling you this right now. I know it's probably a hard pill to swallow, but sis is not your friend. Okay? Let me tell you how much she is not your friend. Kyle has a permanent look whenever she's around Sutton. It's like every time something happens, this is Kyle's face. She always off in the corner somewhere, just stirring the damn pot, throwing the daggers, and then here's her face. She's watching, just watching as everybody comes for Sutton. Here we go. This is the scene where she told Dorit that Sutton was like, I guess, being insensitive, more worried about the man coming from the border to come over with her with the designs than what happened in her house or whatever, or what happened to Dorit. And Dorit actually forgave Sutton immediately. She was like, you know what? I got so much going on with what's happening with this situation, with this burglary. I really don't have time to be diving into what Sutton is saying or how she's feeling and all this, that, and the third, or how she feels about me getting robbed. Like, I really don't have time for that. So I'm going to go ahead and head out of this argument. Let just go ahead, forgive this chick and move the hell on. And I think that Kyle was just over here just looking for some drama to happen. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of Kyle. I don't even know what to do. Like, Kyle, you used to be one of my favorites, but I really feel like you just do the fucking most. Like, just stop. This is her whole, she gonna make this robbery her whole storyline. Like, she don't have shit to talk about besides her dogs being untrained and running around the house eating people's damn food like it's they humans. I don't understand. Now that's disgusting. The way she had them dogs running around the house. People generally, I get it. Dogs are like your kids. I get it. I understand. I had a pet when I was growing up too. But what I would do is put my dog away when food is around. Because I'd be goddamned if Fido is licking the damn hors d'oeuvres and you think I'm going to eat that. I'm so sorry. No, man, Pam, you've wasted your money at this point because now I'm not eating anything at your house. And actually, I don't trust anything at your house because your dog may have had some of my alcohol before you served it to me. Because I don't really trust the cleanliness of your home now or your food. And that's just that on that, period. Okay, moving on. So let's get into episode 4. Okay. Actually, I want to talk about the end of episode 3 because that was very crucial. So Diana kind of kicks everything off. So I thought it was really interesting when Kyle asked Diana what her birthday was, and Diana said her birthday was August 23rd and that she was a Leo. I get it. Leos are amazing. You want to be one so bad. Girl, you're a Virgo. I'm here to tell you right now. Diana, you're a Virgo, sis. I get it. You know, Leos are flashy. They're known for their fashion. They want to be the center of attention. And it seems like you have some of those characteristics. However, you don't fit the script. You're not a Leo. Okay? And I'm going to tell you because I am born 7/20, which is on the cusp of Leo and Cancer. But I'm not running around telling everybody I'm a Leo, sis. Stop lying. Okay? You so rich, but I hope you're not dumb. I really hope you're not dumb. Moving on. Everybody sits down at the table, on the couch, if you will. The couch of horror at this point because Erica has so many flashbacks about this couch. So Garcelle kicks it off by saying, "You know what? Now that everyone's here," because in the previous episode, Kyle was talking about Sutton and saying how Sutton was being insensitive about the robbery situation with Dorit, and she didn't really feel like she was, showed enough compassion, and how Sutton was more concerned about the designer getting there because Sutton made the comment of saying, "Yeah, oh yeah, I get it. I feel bad for her, but I've just had a very hard day, and I have my designer. I'm trying to get over here, and they're having troubles getting into the country. I'm sorry, I didn't have a gun put to my head. Listen, that's how she feels. Now, was it insensitive? Hell, fucking yeah, that was insensitive, Sutton. Definitely was. Probably not the moment to say that, but I feel like Sutton felt like she was around her friend that wasn't going to go run tell that and snitch on her, which I don't understand why you thought that because Kyle's been snitching on your ass since last season. I'm just saying. But anyway, Garcelle being a real one, she's like, "So what was said? What's all that shit y'all was talking last time? Sutton is here. Let's do it. Are you going to talk about her now to her face, or are you guys just play gangsters? I just want to know." So everyone sits down and Diana gives her damn rich ass 2 cents and says Sutton is clumsy with her behavior and comes off weird and wrong with things that hurt people and that she needs to learn to apologize. And Kyle says, "Well, you just really weren't empathetic." Let me stop you right here. Diana, who the fuck are you? We don't even know really much about you. But that you want to involve yourself in this situation some kind of way. It's like you're trying to find your way and you really want it with Sutton. Like, or somebody at this point. You're trying to navigate these waters. Like you were brought as a pawn from Rena, with her failed attempt to try to come for Sutton. Hold on, y'all. When you do these reviews, your throat gets really dry. But going back to what I was saying, Rena's failed attempt to try to come for Sutton over this whole charity table situation, which Sutton came with the receipts. And then she tried to like make this whole big old scene at Harry's birthday party about Sutton and this damn table. Which I'm like, Rena, this was a classic fail for you. Like you really tried it. And you wasn't expecting her to come here with the damn receipt. And then you brought Diana, which she supposed to be, King Dingling of the charity world, and she didn't really have your back. Like you thought she was really about to have your back over something. And my thing is, Diana, if you're for the people that's actually giving up money for the charity, why are you over here protecting Rena's broke ass? Because clearly she coming and sitting at other people's tables and not donating shit. That's what I got from that whole conversation. You coming and having a nice dinner, but you're not donating. You're not giving of the charity. Like, what do you, how much, show your checks of how much money you're donating to these organizations versus you getting your old ass dresses out of that damn tin container that you got in your backyard and wearing them somewhere. This is just a night out for you and Harry at this point. It's a charity, bitch. Donate. Do that. Okay? Moving on. So then they're sitting at the table. Diana gives her little don't nobody give a fuck speech. Because don't nobody give a fuck about her at this point. We don't know who the fuck you are, besides that you have money and you're dating somebody that is half your fucking age. It's going to end up leaving you and you have a baby. Whatever. Cool story, bro. Crystal jumps in, and because Kyle says that she felt like Sutton wasn't empathetic and she's not going to apologize for that. And Crystal says that is basically is so hypocritical, because she's like, basically it seems like they want to tell people how to feel about a situation. And I get it. Like, Kyle is literally on this whole emotional roller coaster over some shit that didn't happen to her ass. I'm like, girl, why are you so like butthurt over this robbery? I get it. Be there for your friend, but you're taking it on as if it happened to you. I get it. It happened to you, but not the way that it happened to her. So don't tell somebody how to feel about a situation. So Crystal was just kind of bringing it all together to say that this is the same. It's like, you guys can be upset when somebody doesn't respond the way you think they should. But you jumped down my throat over a word that I used last year that you didn't like. When she said that Sutton, I forgot what the hell she said about Sutton. And she said that she pretty much said that she felt like they minimized her feelings over Sutton barging into her room or whatever, because she thinks that they pretty much disregarded the fact that she had body image issues previously from her eating disorder that she suffered from. So it was triggering for her for Sutton to open the door and see her naked, and she's not really comfortable with her body. We can see that with how she dresses, always covering herself up. Everybody was giving her compliments last season when she would try to show a little leg and, really think about dressing up or whatever. So I think that she's having some issues over that. So then, she just goes back and forth with them about them policing everybody's opinion, and, how they can't tell her how to feel and all this, that, and the third. And Sutton is like, listen, we're in a good place. I don't want to ruin that or whatever. We've gotten to a good point in our relationship, and I just want to say I'm really sorry again about any of that. And so then Erica, broke ass from the side, she want to get in the scene some kind of way. She's like, well, don't you feel like you owe me an apology and all this? I'm like, girl, Erica, please, just shut the fuck up. Like, pay those people. That's what you need. I want to hear you writing checks to pay those people. That's what I want you to do. I want you to shut the fuck up, because you're just trying to really start some shit with Sutton again. And Sutton is paying you with dust. Because that's all you have in your pocket, sis. Dust. Okay? Stop. Knock it the fuck off. Just knock it off. Just stop. Every time I hear her talk, I'm just like, why? And what are you here for? How are you paying this creative director and this assistant that you have that's sitting at your kitchen table in episode 4? Girl. And then she talks about, and her pretentious ass, talks about having to wear her clothes twice. Bitch, they were ugly the first time you wore them. So, okay, wear them again so we can remember how ugly it is. I'm so sick of Erica. I don't know what to do. So then she starts trying to make it all about her, how Sutton didn't apologize to her and how she treated her last year, acting her. And Sutton's like, all I did was ask you questions, Erica. Like, I really just don't understand all of this and why you really have it for, like, you're trying to come for me all the time. So Renna kind of reels it back in. She says, okay, let's just get back to the point. We need to really be rallying around Dorit right now, because she's the one that has the real issues. All this other stuff is just minutia at this point. Like, it's getting very dramatic. You know, Kyle in her confessional says, and I think she actually said it to Crystal. She said, Crystal is just very dramatic, and she's just making more out of something that it is. And I'm like, I know you fucking lying. You are the pot calling the goddamn kettle black, because you've been dramatic over this whole situation with Dorit like it fucking happened to your ass. Girl, you are not allowed to call anybody dramatic, sis. Okay? Knock it off. So anyway, the episode goes on. Crystal says she doesn't feel safe around them. She doesn't feel comfortable with them. So she ends up getting in the car and leaving. Diana says, well, I guess I gotta go because I'm her bodyguard, because I guess they're supposed to be friends. So they leave. They're talking in the car. Sutton is in the car with Diana and Crystal. And she's like basically apologizing again. And she's like, saying, for the record, I didn't see you naked. And Crystal is like, okay, cool, whatever, but I don't think that they get anybody's opinion but their own. If you don't agree with them, or you don't feel the same way they feel about something, your opinion and your feelings are essentially invalid. So I'm like, girl, okay. I mean, on one end, I'm like, I feel like she was trying to defend Sutton by kind of holding their nose to the double standards that they always give. But then in the next episode, I'm confused, because I'm like, you were just now, I'm kind of on Rena's side with this, where Rena said in her confessional, she was like, so you defending Sutton on one hand, and then you throwing her under the bus in the next. I don't understand. So episode 4, ladies wake up and Dorit says that she didn't have a good night. Rena talks about a serial killer that attacked her mom, and maybe Lois can help Dorit with her situation. Like if she talks to Lois and see how Lois kind of got through that, maybe they can, work through it to get, like, she can help her figure out how to work through it and those emotions, because apparently this person was a burglar, and he almost killed Lois, and he could have killed Lisa Rinna or whatever. So I don't know what the ins and outs of that situation was, but apparently it was a very traumatic situation that her mom went through. So Garcelle asked if anybody had talked to Sutton or Crystal, and everybody says, somebody said that Crystal, Sutton, and Diana weren't coming over. They were going to go to breakfast on their own and have brunch. And so Garcelle calls Crystal on speakerphone and basically asks her to come over, because they want to talk about what was triggering her and just figure it all out. So then Kyle chimes in and says Erica is so different this year. Like they start talking about Erica, and Erica says, she appreciates, she was like, I hate that couch over there, because that couch reminds me of everything that I went through last year, and how, the place that I was in my life or whatever, but I'm so glad that I was able to evolve through that. And I appreciate you guys accepting me where I was, and, just kind of helping me get through that and dealing with my ever-changing emotions or whatever. And so Garcelle chimes in. Listen, Garcelle done showed up this season, okay? She done read them tweets, and she's like, listen, what y'all not going to do is say I left anything unturned this season, okay? So she chimes in and says, well, I just think that it's just, you didn't have any compassion for the victims. Do you feel bad that you didn't show any compassion for the victims last year? And then Erica says, there are people that may be lying about not being paid, and every word counts. So she couldn't show compassion. Let me stop you right here. Liar, liar, pants on fire. You can show compassion for people no matter what the hell is going on in your life. You could have said it in a manner where it wasn't accusatory, or like you were in agreement that these people were owed any money. Now you want to come up with this cockamamie bullshit that maybe these people don't deserve any money because they already got paid. Girl, this lady is on one. Like, she is a different breed. And she says that, she's basically getting blamed for something that she has absolutely nothing to do with. Just trying to make herself a damn victim. And nobody got time for that. So basically she's saying she can't admit to something that she doesn't know happened. Boo and bye, Erica. Don't nobody give a shit about you. Moving on. Next subject. So then Sutton and Diana are shown. Crystal arrives at the house, and then they showed Sutton and Diana eating breakfast together, and Diana arrives at Sutton's room. So Diana asks, before they sit down to eat, Sutton apparently is a vegetarian, but she was like bacon is her weakness, so she's been eating it. Whatever. You like it, I love it. Eat what you want, sis. So Diana over there judging her about that, talking about, well, I don't think vegetarians eat bacon. Okay, she said that's her weakness. Goodbye. Moving on. So Diana asks what happened last night. Sutton says, well, everyone has different triggers. And Diana says she has triggers of people talking about her accent, her country, and her family. And she says she doesn't give people multiple chances. And Sutton says, well, these women, you will need to give them multiple chances. You will. Because if you're going to be on the show with these heifers, you can't just cut them off, because who you going to talk to? And I know you got all this money and you don't need the show and you don't need the fame. So maybe you don't have to give nobody a chance. And maybe, just maybe, you don't need to come back next season. How about that? Okay, moving on. So Crystal arrives, and Renna asks her, how is she feeling? And Dorit says, we don't want you to feel like you weren't heard. And Crystal says she wants to talk about it. And then she gets all choked up and all this, that, and the third. And then she says, listen, if we talk about it, I don't want to talk about it again. Have you not been on this show? Y'all gonna talk about this at least 12 more times. At least 12 times 2. Okay? Girl, there is never a conversation that is had in this group one time. You will talk about it several times. So just gear yourself up for it. And mind you, you're bringing it up because you want to talk about it several times. This is now your storyline. That's what you did. You tried to enter stage left with a storyline, and it's falling flat for me, actually, because I feel like I don't really like how Crystal did this. I feel like it's a dirty little game that she's playing. I was all on her side in the last episode because she was kind of defending Sutton. It seemed like her, Sutton, and Garcelle were going to be this team of positivity. But then it's like you're defending Sutton and then throwing her under the bus in the next minute. Like, the woman has already explained to Dorit and Kyle that she has gun issues. Her father shot himself. She actually was burglarized as a kid. The robbers came in and the mom literally had to save her life by stopping the burglar from going into Sutton's room. She called for the dad, and the dad came out and saved the day, some kind of way with this robber. I'm just like, y'all have all hashed out all this stuff. So why, Crystal, now are you bringing up this whole issue from last year again? And then you say in 1 minute you're saying y'all resolved it, and then you bring up that Sutton said something that's very dark that she never told anybody about, but they got past it, but it was very dark. What does that mean? Was it dark? Was it hidden? What level of dark? Was there any glimpse of light? I don't understand. Like, she uses these words that have a huge meaning behind them, but doesn't even really tell the damn story. Here's my thing. If the bitch says something dark, well, open the fucking shades and tell me what the hell she said. Because I get it. If I'm Garcelle is like, listen, I need you to tell me what the fuck was said, because I'm over here kicking the bobo with this bitch and hanging out with her. But if she's a closet racist, I'm not trying to be acting like we cool. Because if you have a tendency to say some shit that's off color when you think I'm not around, I'm not about to be your fucking friend. Let's be clear about that. So Kyle says she doesn't remember what happened, like, because apparently, because Kyle was in that scene with them when Crystal has said, because Garcelle said to Crystal that she feels like because she was mad at Crystal, didn't really care for Sutton, she wasn't really feeling Sutton, she would have said, what did she say? Hypocrite waiting a year. I feel like no matter what Sutton said, I feel like you were going to say, are you that girl? So she brought that to Crystal's attention. And Crystal said, well, you weren't there, but there was some things that were really dark. That was when she went into the dark stuff. And she's like, knowing how I am, knowing me now the way that you know me, do you really feel like that? And Garcelle said, I don't know how to feel. That's why I'm asking you. Like, tell us what she said. So she beats around the bush and skips around Mayberry and doesn't say what the hell happened. So then Erica said, so you aren't going to tell us what she said? And Crystal said, well, no, I'm not going to talk about it. And Lisa Rinna says, well, that's a contradiction. You were just protecting Sutton. Now you're saying she said something so foul, you can't repeat it. And then Oliver, Garcelle's son, calls on the phone as everybody is talking. So she kind of dips off to talk to him. And then she comes back in with a little bit of comedic relief and says, I just got the best news. My son, he's going to be working for somebody that you all know very well. A good business person, something like that. And Dorit yells out PK. I'm like, girl, can PK afford to employ some damn body? I don't know, because maybe that's why y'all did this whole robbery. You know what? Let me shut up, Shay. I'm tell y'all the truth. In my opinion, I wouldn't be shocked if this was some type of insurance claim. I'm just gonna say I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked. Okay. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. So moving on, okay. Her son gonna be working for Lisa Vanderpump, and that's that on that. So PK and Dorit are talking, blah blah blah. This is boring. He has diabetes and he's still drinking sodas. She's telling him to swap out a soda for some water. He says she needs to get away. She's talking about she just wants to be in the house in her little cocoon. But I'm like, girl, you're fucking lying, because you were just over Kyle's house several times. You went to La Quinta. Like, you don't want to be in your house. There's no fucking way that I would have just gotten robbed, right? And I'm leaving my children with security, and I'm not immediately with my children. I wouldn't leave my kids' side at all. I would not. Y'all will have to be filming with me and my kids. Period. I would not leave my kids' side at all. But that's just, listen, that don't mean it didn't happen. I'm just saying that's how I would have handled it. So getting back to the review, PK and Dorit are talking back and forth. And then they talk about going to Punta Meter or whatever. So he's saying she needs to take a trip that'll help her because she doesn't want to leave the house. She doesn't feel comfortable. So going on a trip will really help her out, which you're fucking lying. You've been leaving the house every goddamn day. And you probably just came back from shopping some damn way. Girl, bye. You and PK are full of shit. Moving on. Sutton is having an event at her store, and Alexis Mobile, the French designer that was caught that couldn't come into the country, is now here, and he's going to be showcasing some of his pieces at her store. So it's going to be a Parisian themed party. Okay. So then Diana is getting ready, and her assistant are seen talking, and they talk about how Diana don't like dust, and this is her second store because she went to Kyle's store opening, and I guess that was her first time actually going into a store, which I don't believe that a bit more than the man in the damn moon. Girl, you've been in somebody's damn store. Is this just a part of your whole story of trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm just so rich that I don't even walk into the store, my dear? I don't do any of that. Girl, shut the fuck up, okay? You go in the store, you buy shit, move on. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. So she getting ready to go to damn Sutton's store, and her assistant is like, I've never really seen Diana go to a store. I'm so surprised. Like, she's going to all these stores. And she's like, yeah, I'm just afraid of the dust. I'm scared of the dust. Girl, and your dusty ass, you probably got some dust in your fucking house too. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't like Diana. I really don't. I think she's just too pompous for her own good. And it's not really, it's given by. Moving on. So Dorit and Kyle are riding together, and they discuss how Lisa is going to Connecticut because Lois, her mom, had a stroke, unfortunately. And Kyle, talks about how when her mom was sick, her and her sister Kim had to basically take care of her, had to bathe her and everything. And the mom was supposed to be in hospice. Basically, she was like, they were waiting on the day to come, basically. So she didn't want to be in the hospital, so they took her out. And they just took care of her at home until her she took her last breath. So they just took care of her as a sister duo. And she liked it better that way, because that way they got to really spend one-on-one time with her, which I thought that was cool for her to share that story. She shared a story of all of them falling down trying to carry the mom, and the mom actually ended up laughing even though she wasn't able to communicate with them. So that was pretty cool. But what I didn't like, because there's always a I didn't like with Miss Kyle, okay? So they in the damn truck, y'all. And she says to Dorit, somebody that just got, now mind you, you was doing all the theatrics from Broadway to show how upset you are about Dorit's house getting robbed, acting like it was fucking you. And then she talks about, oh my gosh, I see a man taking pictures over my fence. You know what? Maybe it's paparazzi. Maybe that's who it is. And then she looks over at Dorit like to see what she thinks or see how she feeling. Girl, you always looking for a reaction out of people. Like, it's like, do you really think that Dorit's house got robbed? Or are you just being overly fucking dramatic so this can be your storyline too? Because quiet as it's kept, you and Dorit don't never really have shit to talk about each season. Ever since Lisa Vanderpump left, both of y'all's well has been dry. So y'all always trying to jump in on somebody else's shit so that y'all can actually have some shit to talk about. So I guess y'all gonna team up together this season to ride each other's backs off of this damn burglary. Girl, this right here. I just, like, really, that face right there really pisses me off with Kyle. Because it's like she's trying to read somebody and see, ooh, I stirred the pot. The spoon is in there. Let me see if it's landing. Like, that's what I feel like she's doing. She's like watching her work happen. And I'm like, this is your friend. What kind of sick game are you trying to play? Like, this woman will do anything to stay on this show. Like, literally. And it's crazy to me that these women are so pressed to be on this TV show, especially in Beverly Hills, when you're supposed to be so rich. This little, like my girl Monique Samuel says, this got to be a little check for you. Y'all probably buying all types of purses and bullshit with the money that you make from this show. But I guess, you know what? You like it, I love it. Moving on. That smug ass look, child. I can't with Kyle. So anyway, Dorit gets nervous and says, that makes me feel like someone's casing your house. And I'm like, why would you even put that in this woman's head? Like, even if she is acting, now you got to make her put on even more. Now she got to be acting like she worrying about you. Moving on. Erica sits down with her creative director and her assistant, and she talks about how she's so happy. She Sutton sent the invitation in a group text, and she happy she don't gotta go. Girl, shut the fuck. Sutton probably even really wants your ass there anyway, because you ain't buying shit, because you ain't got no fucking money. So don't nobody give a damn about you coming to the event. And you just didn't want to go because you ain't want to wear some shit 2 times, because she talked about how she will wear shit and sell it so she can go buy something else. Girl, bye. You didn't have no money to pay somebody to get you all dolled up for this event. So that's why you got them damn sweatpants on sitting in your house, and they got their computers open typing God knows what, because I don't know what work you giving them to do at this point, man. Shut up, eat your ice cream, sit in your house, and get your rose out, because you talked about a fucking vibrator. Vibrate on your own frequency for the evening, because don't nobody got time for your negative energy. Moving on with your broke ass. So Kyle, no, I'm sorry, Garcelle, Diana, and Crystal arrive at Sutton's event, and Diana brags about, their talk. So her and Sutton are talking to the designer, and Sutton is saying, yeah, you know what? He is so amazing. Like, I would love for him to design my house, or, design my store or whatever. And then Diana was like, oh, yeah, because I've had Cavalli and, Fendi design my house, and talk about all these people. Girl, you need to have somebody decorate your stank ass attitude. That's what you need to have somebody decorate. Girl, please. Moving on. Ain't nobody got time for her just trying to talk about her money every 5 minutes. So Dorit is up. So then in the next scene, Dorit comes in. Kyle and Dorit arrive, and Dorit is upset because the press is there. She feels like Sutton should have told her because she can't talk about the incident very much. So she's like, she feels like Sutton should have told her that paparazzi was going to be at the event, because in the event that somebody asks her some questions or whatever, there's a lot of things about the burglary that she literally can't answer. Which I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't going to talk about this damn burglary, but it just seems so weird. Those people just walked up to her house so casually, like, I'm on a regular stroll. And then the fact that they left her cell phone by the gate. Why I'm leaving your phone? Why I'm gonna leave your phone by the gate? What I'm doing that for? Hmm? I'm gonna stomp on your phone. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause I'm a burglar. I don't want you to call the police. Like, if I was a burglar in my mind, I don't know, but I ain't no damn burglar, so I don't fucking know. I can't tell y'all what to do with that. So moving on. Listen, I hope she gets healed from it and everything is on the up and up. So Kyle asked Sutton, is everything okay with her and Crystal? And Kyle said, Crystal said she said something so dark it couldn't be said. Then Kyle tells Sutton she told Crystal Sutton didn't say anything. And, she didn't say anything that she thought would be so terrible and diabolical that Sutton should be so apologetic or that it should even be talked about. So Garcelle comes over and says she feels like Crystal alluded to something that would have been so crazy that it would change the dynamic of her and Sutton's friendship. So Sutton says, let's just move forward and work together because that's sisterhood, Like Sutton just kept on trying to change the subject and move forward. And here's my thing: if I'm Garcelle, I'm feeling the same way. Like I need to know. I need to know what you said, because if you said something that dark as Crystal is saying, I need to address it, and we don't need to be hanging tough, because they are hanging too tough for you to be hanging around a potentially closet racist. Okay. So in the next scene, Kyle and Garcelle sit down after talking to Sutton, and Kyle says, you can just say, Kyle says, I don't know. They were talking about Crystal, and basically saying that they don't want to assume the worst, but Crystal is basically making this thing like a huge thing. So Crystal comes over, and then Sutton ends up coming over there. And, Kyle says to Crystal, listen, Sutton didn't say anything that was totally horrific. So I don't understand why you're making this like a big thing. And Crystal says, listen, I get it, Kyle. You probably don't remember what happened because you were really drunk. And Kyle says, stop saying that. I wasn't drunk. I clearly remember what was said. And I don't remember anything that was said that was so dark or like so crazy that it should even be talked about. And Sutton is just over here being very apologetic. Like, I don't even think Sutton remember what the hell she said, but she's just so tired of being in the hot seat, child. And she just like, listen, I'm so sorry. I hope we can move forward. Whatever was said, I don't remember what was said, but I just really just in the spirit of things, I just want to move forward. Y'all just buy something and get the hell on out of here at this point, because y'all just starting shit. So then Renna comes over. Sutton and Diana come over. No, I'm sorry, they already over there. Dorit says, basically, you defended yourself and opened a can of worms, because Crystal says that the only reason she brought it up is because she felt like she needed to defend herself against them. And Dorit says, you defended yourself and opened a can of worms, but you're not prepared to share what was said. And then Dorit in her confessional says, you're creating the worst case scenario. And Crystal says, I don't appreciate you guys having an issue with my word choices. If that's how I feel it was, then that's what it is. And you just need to just basically take it for what I said. And that's that on that. And I don't want to be talking about this over and over again about you guys chastising me about my word choices. And I'm like, girl, listen, I get it. You don't want to be told what to say. However, you do have to understand that there are consequences for the things that you say. And other people are going to have opinions about the shit that you say. And I will want to know if it's something she said, well, listen, what was said is obviously something that could be forgiven because we're on a good path. But, it was dark or whatever, and it was something that, is controversial or whatever. And I'm like, and it basically deals with me and you, talking about, I guess it had to do with people of color, because she said that to Garcelle. And I'm like, girl, okay, whatever. So Sutton continues to try to move on. And then Sutton concludes that she doesn't remember what, took place, and she just wants to move forward. So in the end, Dorit and PK are chatting, and then her therapist comes in. And the therapist is somebody that specializes in trauma. So she's using these techniques to try to help Dorit get through what happened. Dorit is like closing her eyes, remembering things, and she's, trying to get through her emotions of how the bad dreams and the things that she thinks about and the anxiety that she has makes her feel. So I guess the therapist is like trying to make her face those emotions so that they can figure out how to help her move forward. And I really do hope that, there are times where she looks like she is really, 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 really breaking down. And I don't know, maybe it's just the ups and downs of trauma, and she's just trying to figure out how to navigate it in her own possible way. So I hope this therapist really works and can help her get through that. I don't know if that's something that you can ever forget, especially the way that she depicted what happened. And if this really happened, like, I don't know. I couldn't give you a timeline on how long it's going to take to get through that, because it sounds very traumatic. Now that sounded dark, what happened to Dorit. So, anyway, y'all, that's my review for episodes 1 through 4. I was really thinking about whether I even wanted to review this season, because Erica got on my damn nerves so bad last season. I just really don't even want to look at her. Like, I don't even want to talk about Erica. I think she's lame. I don't even know why she's on the show anymore. We're done with her. Like, are you even a part of the glitzy glam life anymore? Like, I really feel like the people should live up to what the show needs, right? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too. And I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.